Okay, so but what's it all about? What's
I
it
don't
all
know.
about?
You tell me.
I'm gonna tell you when I figure out where
Show
the fuck
shit, bitch.
where the synopsis is, bitch. And so yeah, they're banging in the pool. There's fucking orgy going on in the pool. Gotta clean the pool.
If the movie has any redeeming quality whatsoever, it's his fucking role. Crapulé.
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 This whole story is crapulé. What's up, guys? This is your boy Chris, ready for another shitty movie. Joined as always by James.
What's up, hoes?
Man, I am super excited about this one because it's a new film. Came out literally we're recording September, so it came out this month.
Yeah.
I don't know when this episode's going to come out, but I'm sure it's no longer on HBO Max. But I was super excited for it. I've been waiting like a month because I saw the trailer for it a while back. And I was like, man, this looks fucking awesome. It's a new IP from James Wan, the guy who did, started the Saw and the Insidious and the Conjuring, which I love the Conjuring.
Yeah.
I like Insidious too. I was like, man, I can't wait. And then
Then
watched
you discovered you could wait.
I wish I had waited. I'll tell you what. I will say this. Disney Plus, when they release their movies, up until Shang-Chi, when they released the movie in theaters, they also released it on Disney Plus, but you had to pay $30 for it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't do that. I'm not paying extra for a service I already pay for. So
Nope.
I wait till it comes out free.
Yeah.
HBO Max has been doing that, but every theatrical release they have is released on HBO Max the same day for free.
Yes, it is.
So I've seen Mortal Kombat. I've seen Kong and Godzilla.
Yep.
I've seen Wonder Woman 84.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted's was not one of them.
Face Music.
Yeah, it wasn't part of HBO Max. It's not Warner Brothers. Yeah, I think it's like the New Line Dimension or some shit like that. But yeah, it wasn't on there. But all those movies, I'm so glad I saw free because I would not pay for a single one of them motherfuckers.
Hey, Kong vs. Godzilla was all right.
It was good. I liked it. I would be mad if I paid $20 for that shit, though. Let me tell you.
Well, here's the secret. I did. I didn't pay no $20, but I paid for XD digital.
Okay,
$14,
but
to see it on the big screen. Gotta see it on the big screen.
Now I'm
a big Godzilla fan.
I did go see Shang-Chi in the theaters because it looked good and it is fucking amazing.
It was worth every fucking penny.
It's amazing. Yeah, and you've got to see that one in the theaters. That was awesome. But anyway, we're talking about 2021's Malignant, new horror film from James Wan. Like I said, the guy who did the Saw.
Matter of fact, I think the commercials are still on TV for this thing.
I think so. Cause like I said,
I'm not mistaken.
It's still in theaters right now. Yeah. But it came out. It came out on HBO Max on September 10th, and I was so excited. And I was telling my friend Jade, I was like, we need to have a movie night so we can watch this online because we're both horror fans. And I just watched it that night it came out just because I was bored, and I laughed my fucking ass off. And then the next day I text her. I said, "Hey, Malignant is dumb and funny as shit." And then she texts back later on. She's watching. She's like, "This is stupid as fuck." Yeah. So we're watching Malignant. Review Malignant by James Wan. As I said, he also director of Aquaman, of course. That was a pretty decent movie. Director, writer of Saw 2, Insidious 2, Conjuring 1 and 2, not the third one.
He has a pretty healthy freaking resume. Let's put this. The guy knows what he's doing, supposedly.
The man does some good horror.
Yeah.
He didn't do the Conjuring 3. That was done by somebody else, which is why it's not as good.
Yeah.
But, so Malignant is a 2021 American horror film directed by James Wan. It's based on an original story by James Wan, Ingrid Bisu and Akela Cooper, which is great. I'm like, cool, an original story. This is what Hollywood needs more.
Amen.
I love original stories.
Shit.
Yes, because as much as I want to see it, and as much as I'm going to be excited for it, the new Candyman is just a remake. Literally,
the last 20 years, I believe, has been nothing but almost remakes.
Pretty much, yeah.
There has hardly been any real original material.
Now, not only that, but so the Insidious series and the Saw series, those are all original materials.
Mm-hmm.
but that's like, I think that like I said, like within the last 20 years that they've had that. The Conjuring sort of original. It's based on the Warrens' caseloads and actual hauntings, whatever. But it's not a remake of something that's already been out.
Yes.
So this is original IP. It has on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 76 tomato meter score for 138 reviews.
That's way too fucking high for this show.
I agree. I totally agree.
Way too high.
But the audience review score is 52 at over 500 plus verified ratings. That seems
so about 275 motherfuckers liked
it. That seems
of the people that have reviewed it so far. That is,
and I will say that seems right because when you do a search for this movie, and I've actually had friends on Facebook mention this as well. People are saying it's the best horror film of the year. They're saying it's the best new horror thing. They're loving it, and I'm like, you people are fucking high off your ass. I was not scared one bit. I laughed my ass off starting from the middle point forward.
Well, horror movies don't really scare me anymore at all anyway, and they're so fucking predictable.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. It's like I was hoping to God this one wouldn't fall into that category. But yes, there was a lot of predictability to this thing.
I also guessed the ending as well, or the twist as it is. There's a twist, which we'll talk about later. Hang on. So who's in this movie? Well, directed by James Wan, of course. Screenplay by Akela Cooper. Story by Wan, Ingrid Bisu, who I believe, yes, Ingrid Bisu is his girlfriend or wife.
Holy hell, she's hot.
She's the girlfriend or wife. She also plays the forensic girl in the movie. The one with the glasses. Yes. That's why her acting is so bad.
Who cares?
I do. Produced by James Wan, Michael Clear, starring Annabelle Wallace, Maddie Hassan, George Young, Jacqueline McKenzie, and Michelle Brianna White. Music by Kirk Morey, which I thought the music was absolutely horrible. Did not match the tone at all. Distributed by Warner Brothers. Released on the 10th of September 2021. Runtime of 111 minutes. Long ass fucking movie.
Yes, it was long.
Fucking movie.
When I saw the time on this, I cussed your ass.
And yeah, and I knew you
I literally said, "You son of a bitch."
I knew you
I said
would.
We're supposed to be.
No. You made the rule that you want them about an hour. I did not make that rule.
That's okay.
I go along with it because usually the shitty ones are that short.
Yeah.
But like I said, as soon as I saw this one, I was like,
"Well, sure,
we got to fucking do this one."
It's all
so
good,
bad.
man. I'm
so
just
bad.
fucking with you because we had a lot of super long movies last season. So
yeah, we really did. But that was because the DVD.
The DVDs. Yeah.
So its budget was $40 million. As of today, it's made $29.9 million at the box office.
Still at a minus.
It's more than halfway there.
More than halfway there.
But it's only been out 20 days.
That's true.
So it's got a while to go before
I wonder if that includes streaming money, though.
I don't know. It's a good question because how many people actually bought HBO Max monthly to watch it?
Like I said, off topic, when Bill and Ted came out, of course, I love Bill and Ted, so I instantly rented it. They made like $300 million in online sales.
But that doesn't count for this because it's on HBO Max for free.
That's true.
So
that is true.
Instead of paying $8, $9, $10 to rent it once, you can pay $7 for a month.
Well, I bought it. I actually own it for $19. So.
Well, see, that's because you're a big Bill and Ted fan.
Yeah.
If I had bought this motherfucking movie for $20 and owned it,
you'd be down at the studio demanding your money back.
I'd shoot myself. I want my damn money back. This is bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, so but what's it all about?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna tell you when I figure out
bitch.
Where the synopsis is, bitch. Malignant. Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders.
Literally.
And her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities.
Dun, 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 dun.
Malignant. Okay, before we get into that though, let's let's also remember to tell you guys we have Patreon, patreon.com/whatthesuck. You can get all early access, ad-free episodes. We're really trying this season to get the episodes up on Patreon at least a week before they go live.
Yeah.
So you have a nice long week to listen to before the rest of the world does.
So fanatics like Scott
can actually
get to it soon because he's like a crack addict.
He is.
He like sits there.
He can't wait for the next episode.
Waiting for the episode.
That's right. You can get the commentary tracks that we do for actual good movies, as well as the watch parties that we do for shitty movies like we just did. What was that? Demon House.
Demon. Oh God.
We just did Demon House. We did a commentary track for that. But we also watched the Jack Osborne show, Portals to Hell, and put that up on there. You can watch that with us as we talk about it. And then Stranded for a location we've actually been to and investigated multiple times. All that for $7 a month. Low price, not multiple tiers. You get everything for that money. So go check it out. We're on all the social medias. We're on YouTube, everywhere. Go subscribe, like, review,
please
rate us.
Yes, it helps.
Even if you don't like us, rate us. That's fine. I don't care. Just give us some numbers.
Yeah, we may crack back at you, but
bump those numbers up, bitches.
If you don't like it, that's fine with us. If you do like it, we'd love to hear about it.
That's right. So the other thing is we have renovated or revamped our
renovation. There you go. We renovated
our rating system.
Yes,
it's hard
we
to say
did.
Renovated our rating system. So instead of having them by number of turds, we're doing colors.
Colored turds now.
Because the color of your turd determines whether you're healthy or dying. Or somewhere in between that.
Yep.
So what we have is we have the gold. These are the instant classics, the ones that you are going to want to buy on Blu-ray. They're the gold standard of bad horror movies.
Yes.
Then you have the browns. The brown shit, which is the flesh wound. These ones are good. Not so great, but good. Maybe buy it digitally. Yeah. Okay. Because if you really love a movie, you want the physical media.
Sure you do.
You want that box. You want the inner contents. But if you're okay with the movie, having it on digital is just fine.
Exactly. And you don't clutter the place up.
Exactly. Exactly. Then there's black, which is nicked an artery. These are okay. Not too bad. Maybe red box it for $3. $2.
And a little bit of booze, maybe.
Yeah. Then there's the red, axe to the chest.
Oh, Lord.
These are so-so. They have very few redeeming factors. If it's available free to stream, watch it that way.
Train wreck. You're bleeding out.
Then the lowest of the low, the fecal de la mater, the skull turds.
The skull turd. I love
this. These are
one.
no horror values, waste of time. Avoid these like the plague. Even if it's free, don't fucking watch it. As in my case, Catskill Cannibal.
So the best thing about any movie that gets that garners this rating, the best thing about it is the emoji itself.
Yes, it is. It's basically a skull on a turd.
Skull on a turd.
Gotta
it's
love
fucking
it.
Awesome.
Gotta love it. So yes, that's the new rating system. All right, why don't we go ahead and get the review of this motherfucker?
Let's do it.
When I was young, something happened to me.
Stop saying that.
Maddie, who are you talking to?
Gabriel.
Is he your imaginary friend?
Whatever you went through before you joined our family, it hurt you in a way that I can't even imagine. You created him.
Maddie, what's going on?
So that you could survive.
I wanted to do something that was a bit different, but yet hark back to my roots. You gotta take chances. If you don't, you end up making the same old thing again and again and again. I think audiences are starved for something that's new and different.
We are going to turn back the hands of time. Close your eyes. He's there too. Who is he? Gabriel. Who is Gabriel?
I'm the only one that can see him.
That's him. He wants to talk to you.
Malignant. Rated R. September 10th.
Okay, so the movie starts off with a creepy shot of this Arkham Asylum looking fucking building.
Holy shit. That is exactly how I described it in my fucking notes.
It looks like Arkham Asylum.
We don't collaborate on this, folks. We have our notes separately. We watch separately and get our notes, and then we get together and we start to discuss it. Then we start to discuss it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, a lot of the times we meet right.
Sometimes
we
in the middle.
We hit right there.
But
Boom.
we're also big comic nerds, and so like it obviously looks like fucking Arkham Asylum.
It sure as hell does.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool shot.
It is a cool shot. But then we get a video recording of Dr. Weaver talking about a patient by the name of Gabriel. When the guard runs in, or when she hears the alarm go off, and then she meets a guard in the hallway who has a large tranq gun ready to go.
Yep.
They get to where Gabriel's room is at, and she meets another doctor who is his lines are so dumb. So she and the staff and the guard get to the room. Right as they get there, a body comes flying out. It's a different doctor. The guard pulls the gun out, gets the tranquilizer ready, and for some dumb reason, he like.
First of all, he goes in the fucking room.
Well, he doesn't even. He starts to go in, but like he sticks his arm in the room first, not the gun.
Well, first of all, it's a hint and a half for your ass because he looks at the fucking thing and his face slams up against the glass.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? Let's open the door and let the fucking thing out.
And it grabs him and it tears his arm off. I'm not sure, but I mean, it breaks his arm. Basically.
Love it. Now I'm gonna have to give props, man. I'm gonna tell you what, the blood effects were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the blood's
bones
great.
Sticking out of the arms and shit.
Well, that's because
well done.
James Wan does do horror well when he does it well.
Yes,
But so the doctor grabs the gun and is able to knock out Gabriel. You don't see Gabriel this time. You don't see him at all.
No.
But she tells him to strap him to a chair, and when she does, they strap him to a chair behind this almost transparent tarp.
Yep.
And you get a shot of him, but it's really kind of blurry. But you see like this weird looking creature.
I described it as a fucking what the hell did I call his ass?
I don't know. What'd you call him?
I call him like a murderous rampaging squid because he looked like some kind of violent calamari.
Because he had these like weird arm tentacle things.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
And so the first time I saw this movie, when I saw that, like, okay, it's not going to be ghosts or demons. It's going to be an alien. Yes. It looks alien.
It does.
I was like, cool. He's doing aliens. That's fine. Whatever. But then the radio that's in the room crackles and he starts talking to them through the radio.
I love it. And I noted this as Monster speaks through the damn ghost box. I like it.
And we get a stupid line from the old white doctor because the Dr. Weaver says, oh my gosh, he's speaking. And the doctor says he's broadcasting his thoughts. That is a horrible fucking dumb line.
His thoughts.
But then
and here's a note, folks. I'm gonna save Chris the trouble of saying this later. They never explain how he does it.
No, he just has his power.
Yeah.
He just has his power. It just happens to have it.
But continue, sir.
But then we get an even dumber line from the doctor who says it's time to cut out the cancer. And then bam, we get the title screen and we get this shitty fucking generic rock music that sucks.
You didn't like it?
It fucking sucks. This whole intro with the bad rock music and these flashy visuals, it seems like a intro straight out of a bad direct-to-streaming horror piece of shit. Like, this is not what I expect from...
I thought the music was actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
myself.
but you like all rock music, and I don't.
See, the thing is, it was kind of Wickish to me.
See, I thought it was dumb as fuck.
It was like John Wickish to me, kind of how his movie starts with the rock music.
But goddamn,
but that's me.
John Wick is badass because he's an assassin.
Yeah,
it's an action thriller. This is supposed to be a fucking horror movie.
Well, true,
not a horror action movie. Don't give me no goddamn rock music, generic rock music at that. I mean, like this is.
But I thought the sequence was cool though because it shows some kind of operation going on. It shows brains. It shows them cutting shit apart.
It kind of shows you like a bit of the backstory to him, and you get more later on.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I hated the fucking rock music. I thought because it's very generic. It's not.
It just didn't work for you.
It did not work. For me.
Got you.
Not in a horror film. Hey. Now this works in Saw because that's a different type of horror film.
True that.
It does not like if you had heard this song at the beginning of The Conjuring, you would not take that goddamn movie serious.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. I cannot take it serious after this thing or whatever.
Hey man, that's your thing, bro.
So we cut to present day, and Madison is rolling up to her house.
And I put on there. I put in my notes, I go, present day, who gives a fuck? Let's get back to the telepathic murdering squid. That's what
Yeah. Let's get back to the monster.
Hell yeah.
No, we get a fucking nurse who's pregnant. Whoop de fucking do. But then she gets home and she finds her husband. For some reason, her fucking dumb shit husband watches TV in the bedroom instead of downstairs in the living room. Who the fuck does that?
A lazy piece of shit.
Lazy piece of shit. Anyway, so she tells him that she came home early because the baby's acting up, and he's like, "What do you mean acting up?" But she's like, "He's I'm just in pain, whatever." So then she shuts the TV off, and he gets pissed.
Yeah.
And then he's a real piece of shit, by the way.
Damn, turn the TV off. What you gonna do that for?
Real piece of shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
So they're having a little sort of a disagreement, and he tells her how many times. So that they allude to the fact that this is a certain number of times they tried to have kids. Yeah. But they had miscarriages before. And he tells her, how many times do I have to watch my children die inside of you, because he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then he pokes at her belly, to which she pushes him, to which he fucking takes her by the head and slams her against the goddamn wall, breaking the drywall.
Yep.
Because again, he's just a fucking loser.
I said it myself. I said, I fucking hate Derek immediately. He's a narcissistic prick, piece of shit.
Yep.
To hit a pregnant woman, and
not just hit her, but fucking slam her head into the
wall. Movie or not, any kind of abuse scene like that pisses me the fuck off. So I wanted this son of a bitch to die.
You're just waiting for him to get his comeuppance.
Yes.
Yeah. So he runs downstairs to get ice or another beer probably. And then she locks the bedroom door after he leaves. Mm-hmm. She then notices that the back of her head is bleeding.
Yeah.
He comes back up and he starts apologizing for being a douchebag, saying, "I'm sorry. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm trying to get better for you and the baby." And like, whatever, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Exactly.
But apparently severe domestic abuse only regulates you to the couch, because that's where he's at.
Yeah, he was relegated to the couch.
To the couch, not a police call, not a trip to the goddamn doctor because her head's bleeding.
Yeah,
no, a trip to the couch. So he's on the couch sleeping. It's nighttime now,
and you couldn't help but notice and wonder why in the fuck she did not seek medical attention.
Right,
she just basically laid down on the bed.
Yeah, she
went to sleep.
Her head's bleeding. And
badly.
She was in scrubs, so she's at least a nurse, maybe a doctor. I don't know, but she's a medical staff, and you would think that she would know to fucking go to doctors, but she doesn't. She just goes to sleep.
Mental patient, maybe.
She could have a goddamn concussion, and she still goes. Yeah, maybe she's from Arkham Asylum.
Maybe from Arkham.
Actually, she is. Actually, that's later on. But so he wakes up and he hears a noise in the kitchen. He goes and the blender's on.
Which I was hoping he'd fucking get his face shoved in it.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, I was like, please let the blender get him.
Although I do got to say, if this movie's present day, why is the blender from the fucking 80s?
I don't know.
Isn't it?
I have noticed there's a lot of outdated shit. Plus, they use VHS in this movie.
They do. Yeah.
They do. They use a lot of old technology, so maybe it's intended to be set back in a few years. Who knows?
But they're using flat screen TVs in this house. So who knows?
It's a mixture of bullshit.
Anyway, so he turns the blender off, and then the fridge opens, and then he closes the fridge, and he goes back into, or actually he closes the fridge, and he hears a TV come on real loud, and he rushes over there, and he sees the TV on, and it pans over, and you see somebody sitting on the couch,
which is fucking awesome.
You're like, ooh, scary, yeah. Then he turns the light. No, the TV turns off. In a split second, he turns the light on, and that person on the couch is gone.
I mean, literally a split second. So you're thinking ghost.
Right, you're thinking ghost.
That's what I'm thinking.
But in a really cool scene, it shifts to the front of the couch, and you see the cushion that the thing was on start to reset itself.
Yeah.
Because you see where it was sitting, and it reset. That's a super cool scene. That is a cool scene. Yeah, that's different. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
So he's looking around, and then all of a sudden, there's this black being behind him. And it kills him, but it kills him off camera.
So it doesn't count.
Doesn't fucking count.
No,
but
got to be on camera to count.
And again, the way the being looks in that one split second looks fucking cool. Looks creepy as shit.
I mean, just this dark mass. It's just freaking, it's ominous. You're thinking, oh shit.
So then Madison wakes up and she finds blood on the pillow. Again, not worth a trip to the hospital, apparently.
Nope.
But she goes downstairs and she finds her husband with his neck broken, like fucking broken off.
I mean, his head was twisted the fuck off.
You see the spine coming out of the neck skin and everything.
It's awesome.
And then in another cool scene, all of a sudden the black being lifts up from behind where the husband's at and starts crawling over the husband, And that looks cool as shit. But then it starts to chase her, and she runs upstairs with it behind her.
Which is this part of it I don't get.
I have that in my notes. We're gonna get to that later. Yeah. So, because that's for the end for the spoilers who haven't seen it.
Yeah, true that.
So she runs upstairs, and then she gets upstairs and closes the door with the creature banging on the door, and then finally bangs it so hard that it sends her flying back.
Yeah, this poor girl, this pregnant woman with a busted head, is taking an absolute ass whooping. I mean, she's getting beat up, thrown around. It's like, holy shit.
So then the police show up and take her to the hospital, and that's we get detectives Kakoa and Regina, who are terrible cops, by the way.
Well, I call her Wanda Sykes.
No, she's
Detective Wanda.
Detective Wannabe Sykes.
Yeah,
because she's a low rent Wanda Sykes, because Wanda Sykes is funny and witty and awesome.
Yep.
And this woman is none of those.
But she's obnoxious.
Who?
Wanda.
Oh, this one you mean?
Yeah, that
low
Wanda.
Low rent Wanda.
Low rent Wanda.
Lawanda.
Lawanda.
Yeah, she is obnoxious. So there's the forensic girl. That's the wife of James Wan.
Well, hello.
Who also co-wrote the story or whatever.
And the nerdy look, I like it.
Yeah. So they show up at the house, take a look at the body, and then Madison wakes up, and her sister Sydney is there, and then we find out that she lost a baby, which will also come into account later.
Yeah.
In a dumb fucking reveal. Kakoa shows up at the hospital to interview her, but finds her in a shock state, and she can't talk, and she's not talking. But
now, I don't know if you noticed this part too. When the cops did come to the house before they took her to the hospital, they said the neighbors heard screaming, but yet when you get a shot of the house, you don't see any neighbors.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Which is weird. I don't know if it's the angle or what, because later in the movie it shows the house in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it shows the houses that are close by, but it didn't show it in the first shot.
There's a scene that's going to be coming up where she's looking out the window, and there's a house across the street from there.
Yeah.
So apparently, I guess depending on how you shoot it, there's neighbors.
I suppose, but it looked like there was no neighbors, so I had to question that. I was like, how in the hell did a neighbor hear that when there's no neighbors nearby? So.
And that's another good point you make. They say that they interviewed some neighbors who said that they had quite a bit of domestic violence there, and so they thinking maybe that this was a self-defense.
Yeah.
Somehow this little frail woman broke his fucking neck.
Yep.
That bad.
Yeah, but I like when her sister comes in there dressed in a fairy costume and says, "Hey, where's Derek?" I'd like to say, well, he's all fucked up.
He's got a little bit of a neck issue right now.
He's turned his life around.
Yeah.
He's
but
he gone.
He's got a different outlook on life now.
Yes, he does.
But this is also where we find out that she's had 3 miscarriages in the last 2 years, which comes into effect later.
Now, in this part too, I know they were in the hospital discussing it when she lost her baby. Her acting was actually not bad when she started to lose it and freak out. And I put in here, what in the fuck is acting doing in a What the Suck production?
Well,
there's not supposed to be good acting, man.
Everybody in this movie acts fine. They act great because it's a big budget James Wan film. They act good, except for LaWanda. She's terrible. But everybody else acts pretty good. The acting is not an issue. The issue is the rest of everything else.
The acting ain't that bad.
Acting ain't that bad. We got 2 weeks later.
2 weeks.
Before that, we're in the morgue where Regina tells Kakoa that Derek was killed by somebody who was possibly hanging from the ceiling because the handprints are upside down.
Yeah.
And she tells him that there's no forced entry, history of domestic abuse, so that it's probably a motive for Madison to have killed him. So that's...
And I missed the 2 weeks later stamp when I was watching this because I put on here, she's already back at the house that soon. And I said, fog? Really?
Yeah, you
know, I was like,
2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, Madison's being taken home. Later that night, she looks out the window. This is the scene I was talking about. She looks out the window and she sees the being appear across the street.
Ah, yes. In the light.
And there's a shot right here at 22:36 where there's no fucking neighbors.
You see no neighbors.
No neighbors. But
nothing.
Then when she's looking out the window in this upcoming shot, you see a house across the street.
Street light.
And a house. See the house? There's a house.
I see the house.
So what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
I don't get it.
Anyway.
Inconsistent.
So once she sees the being, she runs downstairs to make sure the doors and windows are locked. She gets to the back door and she finds it open. She closes and locks it, and as she's standing there, it opens again.
Yep.
And this leads to my favorite scene in the movie, where after it opens up, she starts to run back to her room, and it switches to an overhead view.
Yeah.
And we follow her through the entire house.
That was pretty cool.
Like it's a game board.
Yeah.
Like the house from Clue.
Exactly.
You follow her from the bottom room, from the kitchen to the living room. Then she goes up the stairs, and then it follows her all around to her room.
Yeah, and that was funny because, like, when she started to panic, she was closing the curtains. I said, "Oh yeah, go ahead and close the curtains. That'll keep him out."
But those are made from the same material as blankets, and blankets keep you safe
blankets.
from monsters.
That's right.
Exactly, same
Yeah.
material. Everybody knows that every house has monster blankets as curtains.
Monster curtains.
That's
okay,
right.
okay.
But anyway, yeah, that shot of her running in above is really fucking cool.
That was well done.
That was really neat. It's super cool.
Looked like a rat in a maze.
The camera work in this film is actually good.
Yes, it is.
Cinematography is great. The colors are good. It's too bad everything else sucks. So anyway, so she gets to her room and nothing happens.
And just stops.
Nothing.
That's it. Scene over.
Next day, she
Boring.
begins boarding up her windows, some of her windows, and installing new locks. All while generic rock music is filling the scene, and it's making it seem like it's making it seem like it's a big deal, and she just fucking putting locks in. It's not that big of a fucking scene. It's not. It's not a training montage.
See, and then we get this overhead shot. No fucking neighbors.
No neighbors. Yeah.
See again.
Yeah. So her sister shows up, and they talk. And okay, again, the story is weird. They talk, and Madison tells her that she was adopted. Sydney did not know this.
Yes.
They're both in their 30s. Somehow, Sydney not knowing they're adopted doesn't make any fucking sense at all. At fucking all.
I don't know.
I mean, they seem very close, and they're close with their mom. You think at some point she would have found out. Yep. But then we cut to a Seattle Underground tour,
which I want to go on.
Looks really fucking.
I swear,
cool,
if
right?
that's fucking real, I'm going on it.
It's real.
Yeah.
You know what else they filmed there? Kochak.
Nice.
The Night Stalker.
Yep.
They filmed some scenes there too.
Nice.
So yeah, so the Seattle Underground, there's a tour guide giving a tour. At the end, she begins to unplug all the lights to get ready to go home, and she unplugs these lights that go to a tunnel. And after she unplugs them, she hears noises like things being thrown, rattling, whatever. And because again, it's a dumb fucking horror movie. Instead of plugging the lights back in and then walking down the tunnel, she just walks down the tunnel.
Well, you take the creep factor out of it if you put common sense in it, dude.
I'm like, but you fucking work there. You work there. Plug the motherfuckers back in.
Plug the lights back in. Who that?
So then, she walks in there and she hears some shit. So she's running out real quick, and then she plugs them back in, and there's nothing down the tunnel because. So, but then she hears a noise. She looks up, and the creature
setting you up for the good jump scare.
Yeah, the creature's on top, and it jumps down at her, and you see a quick glimpse of like a weird fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wakes up in the attic, and she sees the creature rummaging through boxes, putting clothes on. Are you scared yet?
Oh my god.
Because I'm fucking not. I'm bored as shit. I'm sorry. Seeing the creature put clothes on is not a fucking scary thing.
No, because I thought this thing may have been for some reason I thought this person was attached to Dr. Weaver somehow, and turns out she kind of was, but not really.
Right.
But I thought that was more like her daughter or something that they kidnapped, because Dr. Weaver's much older now.
Right. Yeah.
Shit. So I thought maybe that's who it is or whatever. I was like, we hadn't put it together yet.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think, and that's the problem.
Trying to get revenge on like the family or whatever.
You can't fucking think. You just got to let it happen.
Again, but like, okay, you can't think for most of our movies, but again, I go back to the fact that this is a big budget theatrical release. You would think that you would be able to think for these movies,
Negative.
So,
But it was pretty creepy. And I was like, why did she kill her? We find out later.
Yes.
But
yes.
She is basically hung crucifix style
in an attic.
Yeah.
It's
nice
kind of
creepy fan, shitty, spooky lighting and
fucking
shit.
Cobwebs everywhere.
And then you get, like you said, the Chevy Chase Vacation rummaging through clothes in the attic scene.
Yes. Yeah.
When this thing's getting dressed and shit.
Just all kinds of weird shit on. But then the radio comes on and you hear a voice and you realize it's Gabriel
talking.
And this creature is Gabriel. So you're like, oh, okay, so we're gonna get this weird alien creature thing that's going around stalking people. Why is it kidnapping people we don't know yet? Why is it killing others we don't know yet?
Because, like I said, it's controlling technology. So the thing's got to have some kind of higher power of some sort. But yet, we don't get that explained.
But then we do get a clue because Gabriel tells her that he's waited a long time to meet her for some odd reason. But then he makes a call because somehow this demon knows how to use a phone to Dr. Weaver.
Dr. Weaver.
Mm-hmm. And so he calls Dr. Weaver and is harassing her or whatever. But then we cut back to Madison. And this confused me at first because you see Dr. Weaver and she's at home and it's daytime. When we cut back to Madison, which is supposed to be about the same time, I think, it's nighttime where she's at. But like they're both in Seattle.
Continuity.
Yeah. So I thought, yeah. Well, so she's at home and then all of a sudden all the radios start going and static starts going crazy.
Yep.
She goes to walk, she's doing laundry. She walks downstairs to go to the laundry room, and as she's walking downstairs, she sees somebody run across her entryway.
And here's where the adventure begins.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, that's cool. I thought it was kind of neat. It's kind of
I was
ghosty.
like, oh, there you go.
Yeah. So then she gets to her laundry room and she's starting to put. Oh no! Before that, she realizes her head is bleeding again.
Yeah.
Again, not going to the doctor because that would make sense. She starts putting laundry into the washer. It's one of those front load washers, and then when she turns back, there's a face in the washer, which starts screaming at her for an actual jump scare.
What the hell are you in there for?
Yeah,
What?
and she's like screaming. And she asks, "What are you doing in my house?" And Madison's like, "You're in my house." And then all of a sudden, Gabriel comes out from the side of her and grabs the doctor by the hair.
Which is fucking awesome. Now, I'm serious. This was a good kill.
So, slams her on the ground, and this is where things get fucking weird.
Hard, too. I mean, kablam.
When she slams her on the ground, all of a sudden...
You get this Matrix shit.
Yeah, the entire house starts to, like, drip and shift, and Madison is now in Dr. Weaver's house.
Yes.
And watching Gabriel attack the doctor.
Which was the premise of the movie in the synopsis, how she was seeing murders happen.
Exactly.
So here we are at our first one.
I do want to point out at this scene right here, it happened at the beginning and here at 37-36, but happened at the beginning with Derek. Okay. All the millions of movie producers and directors that actually listen to us, because there are none, listen to me. Stop doing the static shit for current day movies.
Yes.
TVs do not do that anymore.
No, they do not.
We are not tube TVs.
Nope.
Channels do not shut off anymore.
Nope.
So when a current flat screen TV goes on the fritz, it doesn't go to snow.
It just either turns all blue,
or black,
turns the fuck off.
Turns black, or goes to some little box that says signal lost.
Yes.
It does not go to static. That shit is not fucking real. Stop doing it.
But that's not scary, Chris.
That's true. That's very true, James. And most dumb fucking people who watch horror movies don't know that shit because they're stupid and they like get scared.
The problem is we've seen so many that we think too much.
And we're cynical as fuck.
Yeah.
So then, but you're right. So we get the first kill finally on screen when he takes Dr. Weaver, grabs one of her trophies, a big fucking trophy.
Oh man!
Takes her in the kitchen,
fucking mashes the shit out of her.
And at 38:35, we get
kill one
when he takes the trophy and just smashes the shit out of her face.
I mean, it's fucking awesome.
Blood flying everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And although you don't actually see her getting beat, it counts because you see that thing flailing.
Yeah.
You see the blood flying,
everywhere.
You hear guts. I mean,
yeah, she's behind like the island, but it's still sort of on camera. So we're going to count that.
It was a good one.
So then the cops show up and find the trophy is missing. Then we cut to Gabriel. Actually, so she comes back out of it and she's back at her home. And this is why it was dark, because she was seeing it in her mind.
Yeah.
In reality, it was daytime.
Yes.
That's why it looked like it was a continuity error, but it was just because she was in her mind.
Yep.
So the cops show up at the house, can't find the trophy, or missing half of the trophy. And then we cut to Gabriel, who is taking that half of the trophy, which looks like almost like a dagger.
Yes.
With like wings, and is sharpening it and then sort of making it into almost like a sai type of weapon.
And I like this attic fan and shit that they've got and stuff. That's a good creepy move.
It's a big fucking old like warehouse fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he fashions a sai, basically sai out of this weapon, which is kind of cool.
Freaking awesome.
It's different. Yeah. So then we cut to Madison talking to her sister, and she's vomiting because she's sick, and she tells her that She tells her that is seeing the murders happen like she's psychic.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
I can see it. I
I
can
seen
see
it.
it.
I seen it.
I seen it. Then we cut to the cops talking about it, some shit, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. We're going past that. All right. Then we cut to the detective did find a picture at the doctor's house and is asking their
do the aging thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because they were looking at the doctor's records of all her patients from around that time, and they actually asked him to age it. Now, at this time, we still don't know who the fuck it is.
Exactly.
So they walk away.
But he wants to age it so he can try and put out like APB for this person. So then we cut to the house of the doctor that said he's broadcasting his thoughts.
Broadcasting his thoughts.
And he's at home and he's talking on the phone about the doctor that was killed and blah, blah, blah. And I don't understand why the fuck he lives where he lives, because across the street there's a giant fucking pink neon sign.
Yeah.
Right outside of his window.
This guy's supposedly a doctor.
Right.
And he's living in a shithole.
He's living in a shitty like apartment type building or some shit.
All I can afford, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But he just looks so grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm just grumpy.
So like he's getting ready for bed or whatever, and then it cuts to
But here's the thing. Okay, this is what I put in my notes. I go, you damn white people.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in there, the window's open, there's a strange trail of water going across his floor. That's peculiar.
And he cleans it up.
And it's inevitable death. You can see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So he just goes and mops it up. No big deal. And then he goes to fucking bed.
I think because he lives so high up, he thinks that nobody is going to get up into his house.
There's fucking wet footprints on his floor.
I totally agree with that shit. He also didn't look for anybody. He just cleaned it up and went to bed.
I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, he pays for it.
But you're right. You're right. He's like, that's peculiar, and then goes to bed.
That's it. That's it. Doesn't do shit else. He just kind of, oh, well.
Yeah, so then we cut to Madison, who is in bed, and she turns over in bed, and suddenly she's facing a doctor in bed, and she's all of a sudden in his apartment.
So she's transposed now.
Yes.
She's in there dealing with him now. She's like, oh, shit, and she can't do nothing.
Nope.
She's literally froze and watches Gabriel come in there, creeping up over her.
We get the scene from the trailer, which was really cool, of like Gabriel with his like long hair crawling over her.
Yep.
Looks creepy as shit.
It does.
Now, I do want to say that this is this is an interesting little bit, because this is where, so when Gabriel crawls over her, Gabriel straddles the doctor who's sleeping, pulls out the weapon that he made. And this is, in this wide shot, this is the first time where you see that Gabriel's body is twisted.
Yes.
It's
not right.
No, it's straddling him. And
shit ain't right.
It's all weird. It's all twisted. It's all crooked.
It's
and
ringish.
His arms look,
It's all kind of,
his arms look
he's
weird.
Contorted, yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And I thought, oh my God, it's so cool. Oh man, it's like some twisted demon or an alien or something. I was like, man, it's gonna be so cool. Well, anyway, 47:19 is when he stabs the shit out of Doctor in his face.
I mean, he fucks him
just nonstop.
Kill 2.
Just stabs the
and
shit out of his
it's brutal.
face.
In the face, in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed every stab. I was like, hell yeah, blood flying. That was awesome.
Completely on screen. Madison screams, and at this point, and Gabriel looks over at her and is apparently knows that she's there, and he looks surprised.
Holy shit.
But then you get a quick glimpse of his grotesque, fucking weird alien basket case face.
Yep.
Then she wakes up, and then they end up going to the police station, where she's telling the police that she's having these visions about the murders. Yep. And that she saw this new one for the other doctor. She tells them where it's at.
And she actually says, look, go there and look. If you think I'm lying, go, you can lock my ass up.
Yeah. So they go to the apartment. They find the apartment. They find the doctor, which when they show that scene is pretty cool, because his face is all fucking gone. You see his teeth sticking out, but it's all gone.
He's just gnarled. Great.
Yeah. So then they go back to the station, and this part kind of was stupid as fuck. So they get a sketch done of the killer that she saw in her mind, right?
Yep.
And when you see the sketch, it looks like something from like Scary Stories Tell in the Dark. It's this weird, evil looking thing with hair coming down. But then low rent Wanda makes this dumb fucking comment that says, I'm putting out a bolo for Sloth from the Goonies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This not look like anything like fucking Sloth.
Nothing.
Have you seen the movie, you dummy?
Nothing.
Have you seen the fucking movie? Nothing like.
Well, they're hoping that most people that watch this in 2021 are young people who've never seen the Goonies.
I guess because I saw it, I was like, that's nothing like Sloth.
Hell no.
How he looks like a cat almost.
Ain't no Sloth.
No, dumbass.
Looks more like Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm thinking.
Or like somebody from fucking Guar.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then Madison goes to the restroom, and while she's in there, she gets a call. And who is it from?
Gabriel.
Gabriel calls her. And
On the shitter.
From the shitter. He's probably in the male bathroom. But he calls her Emily, and he tells her that he knows that she's adopted and that everything is just starting.
And I put on it, the plot thickens.
The plot thickens. So then she comes out, and then they leave, and then the detective gets the sketch back from the artist, and it's fucking Madison.
Yeah, at this point in the movie, I started to think he was another personality. I started to think that
okay,
this is where it started to hit me that Gabriel was like a separate, complete personality of hers.
Gotcha. Okay.
But see, I still couldn't explain it because it's like she's watching him do shit. They don't ever appear to be in the same spot together because we haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I thought at this point, Split, you know, the movie Split, kind of just
like multiple personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
MPD. Yeah. So then Madison heads to her mom's house, and they watch some old home videos because she's trying to find out what's going on because Gabriel knows her from her past, so she wants to know why or how. And she finds out that when they adopted her, she had an imaginary friend named Gabriel that would try and make her do bad things.
Yep.
Like almost give her mom a C-section.
Yep.
Like
Drop Dead Fred, only deadly.
Only like fucking evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Drop Dead Fred was just like, he was just like nasty nice.
Yeah.
You know, he was doing pranks. But okay, I do want to say, knowing what we know now, the shot when she's in the bathroom talking and she's backing up and you see the back of her in the mirror, kind of interesting foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kakoa is looking through Weaver's records and he finds a bunch of flash drives and locates another doctor who is going to be the next victim that he thinks. There's 3 doctors that worked with this with Emily, the patient Emily. So we cut to Madison, who is now seeing a vision of the other doctor in his bathtub.
Yep. But what's cool about it, what happens is he actually rushes to the doctor's residence after he discovers, hey, there's a pattern here, goes there, discovers him in the bathtub, already hacked. So we were robbed of an on-screen kill.
We were, yes.
Unfortunately, and it was a good one too, because it was a bloody mess.
Yes.
But what was cool is Gabriel was still at the fucking apartment. He's still there. And what ensued after that was a badass fucking chase, about 5 or 10 minutes worth of shit. Because he goes out the window, and, you know, they get in a fucking scuffle for one thing. And
right,
they
going,
fight
hey,
for a bit. The cop actually held his own there for a little bit, kicked him around, and actually shot him, which I don't get.
Well, you know, I don't think he hit Gabriel.
I think he hit him once or something, but I don't know. Anyway,
it never comes back.
Never comes back to anything. He hauls out. He hauls. He hauls ass outside the window and down the fucking. I mean, he does this freaking.
He jumps
acrobatic
from fire escape to fire escape on the outside of it. Sometimes upside down.
And I'm saying this is one nimble motherfucker.
I'm thinking, okay, it's like an alien or something.
It's got to be something.
Not human.
It's not human because it's entirely too strong. It's moving way too fast. So the cop manages to get out. You know, he gets up and he goes down the fire escape and jumps because the motherfucker's getting away from him. So he bails and he lands on the top of this dumpster to try to cushion the blow and gets up and chases after this son of a bitch. And they go back down in that subterranean area, that Seattle Old Tour area whatever it was.
Seattle Underground,
Yeah, and man, what a chase.
And so like she's like Gabriel's like flinging around beams and jumping over obstacles and doing parkour. And then they get to another room where another fight ensues, but then Gabriel parkours up the side of the wall and up into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Now, also, what I want to mention is at the part of the bathroom where Gabriel jumps, the Kakoa, when Gabriel has him on the ground, Kakoa gets a good look at his face.
Yeah.
He sees the face.
He sees, holy shit.
So it's funny that you thought it was a bad chase. I thought it was a hilariously bad chase.
Did you?
Because the CGI looked terrible.
Really?
And it was just so fucking awkward that I thought it was bad. But you thought it was badass.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good chase, yeah.
Differing points of view.
Well, I mean, because the action picked up. Because the problem is not much was really happening. Yeah, we've got a couple of kills so far, but not much else was fucking happening.
You know what? I would take this back. The first time I watched this, when I saw that chase, I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the ending came and the twist came, then I realized it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, because Chris is evil like that.
I am.
He don't play that. He don't play that shit.
I do want to point out that at this point, Krakoa has seen Gabriel's face, seen the way Gabriel moves, knows that he's fast, he's agile, he's strong.
Yeah.
Even though his partner thinks Madison may have killed her husband, eventually later on, as you see, they still end up arresting her for it.
Which is stupid.
I'm like, you literally saw his fucking face, Krakoa, you dumb fucking cop. You saw his face. You saw it looks nothing like Madison.
And they're still holding her, yeah.
You saw him jump from fucking fire escape to fire escape like a fucking monkey or ninja. Yeah. And you see Madison, this 110-pound fucking woman who can barely walk, and you arrest her. It's
and pregnant. Not pregnant anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then we cut to Krakoa talking to Madison and telling her, hey, look, we have a hypnotist that we use sometimes to recover memories.
Yes.
So they put her under hypnosis, and she goes back into her past and find out how she knew the doctors that were all killed. Apparently, she was Emily, and she was at the hospital.
And unfortunately, some very corny and ill-timed lightning and rain kicked in right as their psycho session started to try to add creep factor to it. I'm like, really, guys? I'm like, come on. You know, that's pushing it a little bit too far. You know, corny is one thing, but when you just get ridiculous, it wasn't necessary.
It was perfectly clear before that.
But it was one of those things I noticed. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
The lightning flash right as she
make it
crossed
more
over.
Scary.
Yeah.
Make it more scary, James.
Yep.
Then we cut to the attic where the lady who was tied up is cutting herself free.
I love it.
She cuts her ropes. And as she's about to escape, she falls through the ceiling 30 feet down.
I loved it. I said, damn, homegirl tour guide is still alive. I said, well, thanks for dropping in.
But I'm bummed.
But yeah, she hit hard too.
Yeah, she hit the coffee table. Madison screams, and then so initially they arrest her for what they think she was kidnapping this woman because she was in the attic. Well, and again, when that happens, the music that follows that scene, that comes up with that scene is so fucking off. It doesn't fit at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it scary. It just makes it sound like it's a rock action scene.
Yep.
But then, so the cops have her arrested. They go to the attic and they find Gabriel's weapon.
Yep.
They find Gabriel's outfit.
So that's her ass.
And they blame her for the killings.
And what's funny is during that part, while they're in the house.
Yeah.
The best way I can explain it is Gabriel fucking calls the cop.
So that actually happens in the interrogation scene.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So while they're in the house.
So axe that because
that's staying in.
That's the next thing in my notes.
Yeah. But I will say I was a little disappointed at this point because I just assumed because I thought Gabriel was like an alien or like I said or some shit, whatever, like I've been saying. I couldn't figure out why the fuck Gabriel's weapon and clothing were there.
Yeah.
Like, was he running around butt naked with his little arms
flailing
around?
Yep.
So I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then this is the point where I started to think also maybe it's split personality, or she's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of personality where she only has two, one's evil, one's not. Because like Split had like 4 or 5, something like that. But so they're in the police station and they're interrogating her and she's getting all stressed out. And then when she reaches a certain point where she's stressed out, the lights go out. And that's when Gabriel calls the cop on his phone.
Bring.
Now, again, he's talking to Gabriel on the phone. Gabriel has obviously a dark, creepy voice.
And she's sitting right
there. Yes, exactly. Sitting right there.
So I'm sitting there going, how does this happen?
He saw Gabriel's face.
Yep.
Saw how he moved. There's no way a good cop would think that Gabriel is Madison.
Yes.
She's right there. Gabriel's calling. All this other shit. Dumb fucking cop. Dumb cops. Dumb cops.
Ignorant.
Oh, man. I'm getting ready for this scene coming up that... So, after that happens, they put Madison in the big jail cell, which is
Put her in a tank.
A giant fucking tank. It's a huge jail cell. And while that's happening, Sydney is heading to the hospital to try to find more records on Madison's stay there when she was a kid.
Yep.
And this is an important scene too, just in the fact that not because she finds the records, but because while she's in there, you know, it's dark and it's creepy looking, and you get a sense that something's following her.
Yep.
And you know, she thinks she hears something, but then the next scene is her back at her mom's house.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you're thinking, did we miss a scene? Because it sets up for her being chased by something or maybe being killed.
And it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. You're like, did we miss a whole scene? Because next time you see her, she's at her mom's house. Like, how do we miss a scene? Well, the reason why Gabriel didn't attack her will come into play later.
Yep.
And we'll figure that dumb shit out later. So then we cut to Madison in the cell, and there's all kinds of hookers and shit. There's a black hooker from the 70s with an afro. There's a white trash hooker with a mullet.
What's good is, before we get to get all this, but then we get a flashback real quick before we get into what you're about to get into. There is a scene when she's at her mom's house, and they pull out the VHS tapes because she stole her records from the asylum.
Right. That's what I
Took them back to mom's house.
Next scene, she's at her mom's house with the records.
They started watching the records. They started watching the videotape, and that is when they find out what the real deal is.
Quote unquote twist.
Quote unquote Gabriel. And what is it, my man? It's your lead.
So you find out while they're watching tapes, you find the shocking twist. Gabriel is a giant, monstrous twin tumor that was growing out of the back of her head and neck.
Yep, a parasitic twin.
It's called a teratoma.
Yep.
And it's growing out of the back of her head and her back, and it's got these goofy-ass little fucking arms.
And that's when I said, well, this movie just went off the rocker.
Yes, that's when, and just before that happened, I was like, because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this kind of sounds like a little bit like Basket Case.
Yeah.
And then there's also the story of Edward Mandrake. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
So it's like it sounds like Edward Mandrake almost. And then that you see that, I'm like, it is Edward Mandrake. It's Edward Mandrake and Basket Case combined in one. Because you've got the back of the head's face, but then you've got the psychotic killing of Basket Case.
Yes.
I'm like, it's just those two together.
That's right.
But then they make it a female because it's progressive.
That's it.
So lo and behold, to me, comes the dumbest and funniest scene in mainstream horror ever. So the 70s hooker and the white trash hooker are harassing Madison.
Yeah.
As they begin beating on her, Gabriel wakes up.
Oh yeah, they piss him off.
His head pushes through the back of her skull, opens up her skull,
exposing where in the hell. And this was the answer to everything.
Yes.
Because we're sitting there going, how in the fuck did all this happen? We finally get our answer. Like you said, the head pushes through, his face comes out, and then all of a sudden he takes her over completely, and the contortion we were talking about earlier is explained, and it's shown to us because we're looking at this thing, and all of a sudden the arms flip, the wrists twist around, the feet turn around the opposite direction. He basically reverses her body
and uses her body as
cracks all her
own.
bones and stuff, and turns everything, and then proceeds to.
So before we get to that, yes, that's where all the answers come in. So the answer is to why his face looks like that. The answer is to why he didn't attack the sister in the hospital, because he wasn't there. He was in jail with Madison.
That is right.
The answer as to why she could see him killing,
because they share the brain.
They share the brain. But what it doesn't answer is why at the beginning, after she kills Derek, why is she chasing herself, and how does she lock her bedroom door and knock against the door at the same fucking time?
That is very true.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, and that was never explained. That's why it threw us off the first half of the movie, because we're like, it's got to be another being or something.
Yeah.
You know,
also,
because physical force hitting the door when she's pushing against it.
Yes.
How did this happen? But then again, this has to be part of the psychokinetic power or whatever it is this thing has to like control technology and stuff. Because it can reach out and do shit.
But here's my thing also. It can speak through electronic devices. It has that power. that does not explain how it's so strong.
Yeah.
Because it's in a 110-pound weak woman.
Yep.
Because she's not a bodybuilder. She's just
Nope.
she's thin and small. It's how it's so strong. How it's able to do fucking ninja-like moves by jumping from fucking fire escape to fire escape. All the parkour it did in underground.
Yes.
Up the wall, up to the ceiling.
Yes.
None of that can be done with the body that she has.
No.
There's no. But somehow it gives her like. Because later on, as we see later on when they're in the hospital, it flips a hospital bed over.
I mean, it throws it hard.
Like it's a fucking like it's a coffee table.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going back to the jail scene. So she's getting beat on. All of a sudden, Gabriel wakes up. The head comes out of the back of her skull. And what happens also, what we learn is when Gabriel takes over, she goes to sleep, and he puts her in a trance and clouds her mind to think that she is wherever she's at.
Yep.
Because as she begins completely destroying every single person in this jail cell.
I mean, wiping them the fuck out.
The only cool kill to me is the one where she steps on that lady's head.
Yeah.
And just smashes like a watermelon.
Splat.
But while that's happening, in her mind, she sees herself just sitting there in the cell.
Yep.
Because he's clouded her mind. Meanwhile, he's doing all these dumb fucking moves.
He's starting to lose it, folks. Starting to lose it.
It looks so goddamn dumb when he's doing all this weird contortion shit and killing people with his hands backwards. And he kills, I counted him, he kills 14 fucking people in that jail cell.
Here, you can actually hear the disappointment.
So I don't have that many fucking things, so I'm just going to go.
Kill. 5, 3, 4, 6.
So there. I don't have that many, so I'm just gonna do that. That's the kills that she does.
Exactly. I put it on there myself. I lost track when she started just killing motherfuckers. I even quit counting the rest of the movie. I was like, I have no idea where I'm at.
Yeah, I know. And the only reason I know is because there's a wide shot at one point of the cell, and I pause it, and you can count all the dead bodies. So I count all the dead bodies, and there were 14 of them.
14 dead bodies. I love
That's at 1 hour, 31 minutes, 40 seconds.
Hell yeah.
So then they call finally a cop comes to the jail cell. She manages to take him out, grab the keys, and escape the jail cell. While that's happening, Sydney calls Cacao, and somehow all of a sudden knows everything about Gabriel and the tumor and the fact that
it's not a tumor,
that Gabriel has been using her, and somehow knows that when she got her head slammed by Derek, that it woke
the damn thing up.
Yeah. Gabriel breaks into the evidence room, takes his coat and his tie back. Then the cops show up at the station and find Gabriel killing every single cop in the station. I take it back. I take it back. The jail cell scene is not the dumbest scene in horror that I've seen. This one, where she's fucking going full Matrix.
Exactly.
Is the dumbest, funniest scene in horror ever.
She just John Wick the shit out of all these motherfuckers.
She's John Wicking and Neoing because she's doing all these weird contortion moves and like under the arm shit and just and also because the CGI looks really bad on her.
Oh yeah.
When it like gets to that point,
Oh yeah.
And it just looks so fucking dumb. And at one point, she throws a chair all the way across the room.
Hey, now that was cool. I like that too. When Wanda and Kakua,
when Wanda and Kakua are trying to escape,
and she fucking WWE's them with a fucking flying chair
all the way across the goddamn.
Bam! I mean, just fucks them up.
I did not count all the cops she killed in the station because I just didn't give a fuck at that point.
Well, you couldn't see them all anyway. They're behind desks. They're everywhere. There's legs and feet and heads sticking out everywhere.
I gotta tell you, literally at this point, the first time I watched it, literally at this point, I was laughing my ass off, and I stopped taking the movie even an inkling of serious. I was like, nope. I am checked the fuck out. I'm just going to watch it to the end because I'm almost done. I'm just going to watch it to the end and see what happens because I've already put my fucking hour and 30 minutes into it this far.
You got to finish it.
Let me finish it. You have to. Yeah. So then Gabriel / Madison escapes and she's heading to the hospital because at some point we find out that the lady that was in the attic is Madison's real mom, her birth mother.
But what was funny too is LaWanda, right before he took off, tells old Kakua or whatever his name is, Kalua.
Yeah.
Tells him, go get him. She tells him, go get him and all this shit. And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm saying a whole shop full of cops couldn't stop this motherfucker.
But
and you're gonna send this little Daisy to go chase these motherfuckers.
So
I mean, yeah, they had a good chase scene earlier,
right? But he got his ass kicked.
Maybe he had a chance, but he did get his ass whooped.
So she's low rent Wanda, and he's low rent Keanu.
There you go.
So,
not even.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because he's got a Hawaiian name, Cacao or Kalu or whatever. So Sydney arrives at the hospital just before Gabriel. She tries to get through the Madison.
Did she?
When she shows up. And
now, how does she arrive before Gabriel when he's like hitching a ride? Because now at this point, the cat's out of the bag.
Well, because he's already heading to the hospital because she realizes that Gabriel's going to try and kill the mom.
I'm just fucking with you. I know what's going on.
Yeah. So anyway, so she gets there and then Gabriel shows up. And that's when they're fighting, and that's when he flips the bed over onto Sydney, the hospital bed.
Sydney.
Yeah.
That's right.
But this is also so right before, as that's happening, Gabriel's getting ready to kill her because he wants to kill everything associated with her fake life.
Yep.
Because he says that she doesn't deserve any of her life or her body or whatever. So as that's happening, we get another dumb line where she tells Madison through Gabriel that Gabriel is the reason for her miscarriages, that he fed on the fetuses to grow strong.
And that was grotesque.
That was dumb.
That was dumb, but it was like
who is he fucking is he Voldemort?
That's
the fuck is
ghoulish. Yeah, that was fucking ghoulish. I was like, damn,
fuck?
Eating unborn children.
And so that snaps her out of it, and that's when she realizes that she also shares the same brain.
Yep.
So she learns she can take control of the mind.
Yep. So she Miyagi's his ass.
So she makes him think that he killed makes him think he killed Sydney.
So she put him in fake world.
That's right. Yes.
And he thought he did it because I mean the kills were brutal. I mean because he put a gun to Sydney's head
and
blew her fucking head off and went over and
choked the mom out. Just took her fucking hoses out and killed her. Yeah. And but then we get a scene where it's.
Because I actually I said smoked, man. Yeah, he's just fucking brutal.
I mean, the gunshot to the head was
yeah.
So then we get a scene where it's all black, and you get Gabriel and Madison facing each other, and she tells him that she's taking control back of her mind, and then traps him in a jail cell in her mind. And this is where he becomes a comic book villain when he says, and I quote, "You'll always be stuck with me. Sooner or later, I'll get out." And then she replies as a corny superhero saying, "I know, but next time I'll be ready for you." And then slams the gate on it.
That's right. And then he's trapped in jail.
And her skull closes up and it's back to normal. And then
it looks like
she's able to get the bed off her sister because she's like, "Gabriel used my body. Maybe I have the same strength." And
apparently not, because she could barely lift the fucking thing.
I mean, he flung it like it was nothing.
He tossed it, and she didn't do shit.
Yeah.
But she got it off of her. It's basically the end of the story.
That's it.
Gabriel's screaming from a jail cell.
Yeah.
It's all over. They're sitting there at the house again or in the session again talking about it. And they're like, "We're rid of him. He's gone. I've got control." And then you get a cheesy last little plug of a little light bulb. And then you see a little zzz, and then credits. That was long.
That was long, dude. Let me
that
tell
was
you.
Harsh.
I was so excited when I saw this movie, the trailer. I was like, "This is gonna be awesome." And then I started watching it. It was cool at the beginning, and then when I figured out the twist, I was like, "Oh man, that is a dumb fucking idea."
Yep,
dumb idea. The execution of it was just as dumb. But what is your review of this?
Now you're gonna be shocked. Yep, you're going to be shocked.
All right, let me hear what you got.
I didn't expect to like this movie as much as I did like it.
Okay.
Now, I know there were some continuity issues. There was some weirdness. But I loved the kills when they did happen because they were brutal. They were bloody. They were awesome. There was a lot of typical horror shit that I expect, jump scare style stuff.
Right.
You know, the shadows and all that crap. I like the creep factor. I like all the people that needed to die got killed.
And more.
Yeah. I actually gave this one a gold turd.
You gave it a gold turd? Are you serious?
Yes, because I think people should watch this one.
You're right.
Maybe not necessarily buy it, but
but that's what a gold turd is. A gold turd is buy it
if you want to
on Blu-ray.
Well, I ain't buying it. I got it on cable.
Okay, so then
but
you're giving it a gold turd, but you're saying don't buy it.
The reason I say it, I thought the kills were excellent. I thought the script was good. I liked the story and the premise.
Okay.
Now, I agree that Gabriel, he was a little weird looking. You know, the little, once you finally got to look at him, he was fucking stupid. I get it. But then when they cut him out and stuff like that, and the scenes of him cutting his arms and taking him out and stitching him up and getting rid of him,
Right.
that was good. You know, I thought, you know, all the story was not completely original. I thought they actually did pretty good. You know, with the actual story. It wasn't, like I said, the acting was good as well. My only real problem in this movie is it's way too fucking long for what the suck.
Very long, yeah.
Motherfucker, make me watch some long ass shit.
That's right. I'll make you watch what I want to watch, bitch.
I put on here, we need shorter shit. That's what I put. But that's my take. Yeah. I gave it top of the heap.
I am shocked. I thought you might go like brown, maybe, but I am shocked.
I actually thought it was going to get that way. I started out at about a black, but as I watched it, but then the kills started to happen.
Got better.
It got better to me.
Wow.
And I love the music.
Okay.
I like the music. So it actually worked for me.
Interesting. So, okay.
Your turn, brother.
Well,
now we're going to bring it back down to earth.
Okay. Back down. That back down is right. The acting was good, of course. The story was good up to the point where the twist came in.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got dumb as fuck. And I mean, because Gabriel's design was cool, the way he walked and moved and crawled on that weird shit, looked all creepy.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that she was psychically linked to him was kind of cool. I hated the fucking music. The music did not go with the movie at all. The twist really fucking just tanked it so bad for me. Tanked it so bad. Tanked it bad. I thought the scene with when the police station and the jail cell was laughably bad. I mean, just horribly done. Especially when you realize the twist, you're like, oh, this doesn't make any sense.
I think that's what it is. I like scenes of mass killings.
I like scenes of mass killing too, but I like to have a goddamn story around those scenes of mass killing. You know, I want to have something tangible to actually fall back on, not just fucking mass killing, because you can have mass killing and still have a bad movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it good. Like, just because you kill doesn't make it good. Like you have to have like a good reason. Like Michael Myers has a good reason. Jason Voorhees has a good reason.
Yeah.
You know, Freddy Krueger. They all have actual reasons. They're not just killing just to kill. Like fucking Gabriel, you know, 2 girls were harassing him, so he killed every motherfucker in there for no reason. The others weren't doing shit. They weren't doing shit to him. But I can't recommend to buy this at all, whether digital or Blu-ray or whatever. I'm giving this a red.
Going red, huh?
Going red.
Damn, that's 2 in a row for you, red, brother.
It has very few redeeming factors. If you can watch it for free online, do it. Now, by the time this episode comes out, I think it'll be off HBO Max.
Probably so.
But it usually comes back on HBO Max about 2 months or so after it leaves.
For free.
For free.
Yeah.
So just wait for it to come back on HBO Max and then watch it then. If you want to watch it, I think it's one of James Wan's worst fucking films.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate this film. Like, and I guess I get it. A lot of it is my own hype.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. It looked great.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's going to be good. And then the twist really fucking just
and it absolutely was exactly the opposite for me, brother. I started out where you ended up.
Yeah.
And I went the other way.
We switched.
We went the other way. Because like I said, once I got to see what I wanted to see, I was okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was long as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there were some dumb parts. I get it. You know, but that's to be expected. But to me, the killing, man, it was just...
And see, I can't give it a skull because there are a few redeeming factors.
Yeah.
You know, the Gabriel idea.
But you did say very few in your opinion. So
very few.
I understand.
And you need to watch it because it is a James Wan film.
Yeah.
If nothing else, for that and for the cool parts that are Gabriel. But I cannot give you any higher than that because I'm just like, you know, I watched it again.
Matter of fact, I'm going to put a special request to all our listeners who listen to this episode. Go wherever it is you rate a podcast. I want to open a debate on this particular movie.
I think
because me and Chris are really far apart on it. We crisscrossed, you know, but it's okay. Because I'd like to know where everybody stands. Anybody who
put a
chance
poll
to watch it, maybe,
to
watch the movie or maybe something like that. But let us know what you think.
Give us go give us a rating or a review, whatever, and just, you know, put in there whether you agree with James and you liked it, or you agree with me, thought it was a piece of shit.
There you go.
So, I watched it again to get ready for this review.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't watched it since it first came out.
Yeah.
I will never watch this goddamn movie again. Maybe if we have a movie night and we need a bad movie to watch to make fun of, I will watch it then. But I will never. This is not like The Conjuring or the Ouija Origin of Evil or Oculus or even Haunting Hill House, or I will go and I will just watch it again because I like it.
Yeah.
I will never ever watch this movie again.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to it.
Well, so like I said, it's coming to that point in my life too. When I see a movie and I already know what's going to happen, it's very hard to watch it again. See, now there's very few horror movies that I'll watch over and over again.
Yeah.
I'll watch the original Halloween as many times you can throw it in front of me.
Gotcha.
Christine, I'll watch it as many times you can throw it in front of me.
Yeah.
The Friday the 13th series, Freddy movies, the early Freddy movies.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
You'll
watch those. Yeah.
But yeah, things like this, once you see it once, it kind of takes it out of it. Like the movie, what was that one with shadows? It was a Kevin Bacon movie.
Oh,
a murder movie.
Yeah.
That girl was in the wall.
Yeah.
I know this is not. I know it's off topic, but it's like Shadow.
Yeah, it's based off a God dang it, Stir of Echoes. Yeah, you mean Stir of Echoes?
Stir of Echoes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That is a good movie.
That was a great fucking movie, but I could only watch it once. I did watch it a second time. But once you watch a movie like that, the cat's out of the bag. There's no surprise.
Right.
And like I said, that's very similar to this movie. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to watch it a whole bunch more times, if at all.
Yeah.
The killing was all that, but you already know where it's going to end up.
You know the dumbass twist. And then, yeah.
So it's kind of hard to watch movies like that,
But I can watch Stir of Echoes over and over again, even though I know the twist, because of the great performances by Kevin Bacon and Catherine Irby and other people in the film, and the story is still good.
Oh yeah,
even though it's not scary to me anymore because I've seen it so much, but I can watch it again.
Yeah,
this one I can't watch, but yeah. So, oh, thank God I'm done with this. Thank God. Yeah, but until then, this is Chris. I will see you at the next shitty movie.
You should see his face, folks. And this is James, and if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
Thank you.